in a creative slump, don't know where to begin? Today is the day that'll never happen again. In this video, you will learn how to view cards differently and make them your own and be creative all the time. Welcome, my crafty friends. I'm Dawn, creator of DD Creates Crafts, and this is the channel for simple, duplicatable cards you're just gonna have a lot of fun making. So watch till step 3. That's when I reveal the secret to success. And let's get ready. Let's create some crafts. I'm gonna turn you down so you can see good and get you started. All right, so this is gonna be our first card. We're gonna make it just lickety-split fast, and then I'm gonna show you cards that I made just like this. So I've got some bling, I've got some ribbon, I've got my base card, which is a regular A2 card, and this is, the measurements are 5.5 by 8.5, score at 4 1/4. So that is our base. The next layer, and then we'll assemble, the next layer, choose a different color cardstock, and this layer, that's what we're gonna call it, is 5 1/4 by 4. Then we've got some designer series paper, some print paper, two-sided printed. This is 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. Now, if you want a larger, what would we call that, border like that, then you would do 5 by 3 3/4. All right, me and math. Then, just to make it different and pretty, I'm adding a little piece of vellum. Won't that be stinking cute? All right, the vellum is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And again, if you want your vellum skinnier or wider, go ahead and make that happen. So now, excuse my arm, I want to grab my glue and let's assemble our card. First, I'm going to adhere down, I think this is my top, my designer series paper, the print, and adhere it to our first layer. So this is your step 1, the cutting of everything out. And I also did some labels for sentiments, so that's important too. All right, now your step 2, we're gonna assemble our card. Step 1 is cutting it all out, getting all your pieces ready and all your supplies. And then step 2, we're gonna assemble our card. Now for more videos like this one, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Don't worry about subscribing. No one contacts you and your name is not made public. That's important to know, don't you think? All right, secret to success when adhering vellum. You wanna put the adhesive where it's not gonna show. So I'm gonna put my, let me look real quick now that I'm telling you. I wanna see if I want my ribbon on top of it or under it. Let's look real quick, and I think I want on top. I do. All right, so I'm gonna adhere this down before I add my ribbon. So I'm going to put my label to my left side, so I know I'm gonna put under where the label's gonna go, my adhesive for the vellum. And I tell you this because, I'm lining it up, look, it shows, the adhesive shows through. So we're just gonna hide that, and I'm gonna put another dot of glue up there when we add some bling. Now what I thought would be fun with the label is just to, let me put some over there. Layer it just to make it a little different. All right, let me put one more. These labels are called tasteful labels, and there's so many labels in this kit. I just have a ball, and my selection is endless. All right, I've adhered that together just to give it a little more interest. And I can see just a hair right there, so just take some paper snips and give it a little haircut. There we go. And I'm actually gonna pop this up, but I'm gonna put my ribbon down first. So let's go ahead, and what I like to do, you'll see in a momentito, is, well, let me just put some on the back. I use my glue dots. You can use some glue, you can use some dry adhesive, but I wanna make sure my, let me see, I want it to go here. I want to make sure and look, I put it in the totally wrong spot. There we go. It's just to hold it in place till I'm ready to rock and roll. And just flip it around, and that's where I want it. Da, 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 da. See, glue will hold this down, but it's not going to be as strong or as fast. And for the video, I don't want you to literally watch glue dry. That'd be like watching paint dry, don't you think? So I'm not going to put you through that kind of misery. Okay, so now we've got our ribbon on and the vellum. So I'm going to pop this up, add a bow, and then put a little touch of bling up there. We'll have to see if we like our peach color or green color. So let me go ahead. Yep, I'm gonna pop it up. Let me see, I don't think I'll need more than 2. Nope, not for this little guy. Tell me in the comments section, have you guys ever been in a creative slump before? My guess is if you're anything like me, the answer is yes. And that's okay, because after this card, which I'm just going to put my decorative pieces on, glue it to the base, and then start sharing the secret with you, which is our step 3, is the secret. All right, here we go. And I've got a couple more cards to show you. Not demonstrate, I've already made them, but just to show and tell, to give you a little more of an idea. All right, so I'm gonna cut these at an angle. I think that little guy's a little too long. And we're gonna do another glue dot, and I'm gonna glue the bow down right on top of the ribbon as if it's part of the ribbon. But I'm gonna put it on top because if I glued it down right on top of, like tied the base, one, it's hard to do. I don't think my fingers can manipulate that. If yours can, more power to you. But it also will pinch up the ribbon, if you will. And I like this look better. So I wanna see what you think if I put the bow right on the ribbon, but up against my sentiment. I kind of like that the tail's hanging. All right, let me adhere this down. I'm gonna glue it. You can put a little dab, will do you, on your ribbon. Once I get my glue in place, I just push it around with my little edge of my glue bottle. You want it up to the edge, but less glue. It won't glob out the sides and it sticks. Too much glue, it's just messy and sometimes counterproductive for our cards. So you can see, quick, fun, and easy with this particular card and this particular design. So I'm gonna grab, y'all help me out here if it needs, oh, they went flying, green or peach. And I'm leaning towards the peach, the little peach bling guys, and I'm just gonna put one there. So I'm gonna add just barely a drop. Do we want it here? That might hold it down better. I'm gonna leave it on the same side, you guys. So I'm just gonna put a drop of ink right there, and the ink. Did you hear me call it ink? I'm gonna get a bigger piece of bling because I got heavy-handed with my glue. But this is another way to hold down your edges, is to put a drop of glue when you're doing the vellum only. So this card is complete. Look at my little decorations. They went flying, you guys. I'm gonna save them. Okay, so here is this. Now let me bring out the secret. When you see a card on Pinterest, on my channel, and you want to make that card, but maybe you don't have the Tasteful Labels die. Maybe you don't have this paper yet, Daffodil Afternoon. Here's how I want you to view this card. Like this. Pretend it's a card sketch, you guys. So we've got our base card here. Ignore the white because that's just paper. This kind of pale line is the base, and that's my layer. The texture is my print paper. That's my piece of vellum, and that's my label right there. Now you can see I added a bow, so that you can do as well. Let me put it side by side because I want you to do it. So Here's our base. Here's our layer. Here's our designer series paper, the print paper. Here's our vellum. And here is the tasteful label that we added. And it doesn't matter what side you put it on either. We put it on, I think it was my left side, and I added a bow. Okay, that's hilarious. Look, the bling's sticking on my bow. I'll get him off later. And then I added a little bling. So you could put a dot of bling up there. I'll just color you a little dot to make you laugh. Now, let me share with you how to make it a little different. You've now viewed my card. You've now viewed the sketch. You're going to make your own. How about this one? It's the same layout, the same sketch. Let me put this over here and I'll show you how. We've got our base card. These are scraps. You see the marvelous marble effect paper? I did not have a whole sheet of this to make a whole piece of designer series paper. So I guess that is, the embossed one is my layer, and then this is my take on the print paper. And since I didn't have enough, I still put some down, and then I had another scrap, so I went across this way where on this card the ribbon went, and then still added a label with a sentiment, and this is the tasteful labels is all. Added my bling, again to hold that little corner up. So this is the same card made from the same sketch, yet I didn't make a sketch to make these cards. And you won't either, and you won't need this. You see this card, you saw it on my video, I want to make that card, you say to yourself. So this is going to be your card, just pretend. You've got your base, you've got your layer, the pattern piece of paper. Maybe you're like me and don't have a piece that big, so you're going to just use some scraps, put a nice strip, and you can even, let me grab this one. If you had to, you could do strips like this and put vellum over that. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So I want you to think outside the box a little, and by that I mean I want you to visualize a card as if it's a sketch, and you're actually copying the design or elements of the card and making it your own by seeing this card like this. So here's these two cards with this sketch, and let me show a different design to you. This card, same beautiful Daffodil Delight paper, this paper behind me. Then I came in with this sketch in my brain. So you just saw me pretend this, we made this together online. You want to make this card. All right. So let's look at it together. Trying to see if this is better. I think this is better. We've got the base card, which is the light. Then the dark part is my layer. I have black paper and I did emboss it. Then the textured piece here is my pretty print paper, but I used coordinating print paper to the sides, just with some strips. And it does not matter how big your strips are. You just want this design. Then you have your little label to the side. Put your bling where you want it. You can put it on your label. You can put it at the top. I added a bow. You don't have to. But again, you can make it your own if you visualize this like this. Just make it up. And here's how you do. You're saying to yourself, okay, a base. And this card is horizontal where the other one was vertical. So Dawn has a base. She has a layer. She has some print paper in the middle, and then two little strips of coordinating paper to the sides, and then a raised label with some dimensionals. So you do that. You use those elements to make your next card. So I want to share with you another card using this same design, and here it is. Now instead of a layer, I punched out some clouds from this fun rainbow paper. Here's my strips. Now my colored paper, my print paper, again, I'm using scraps. I didn't want to waste my pretty print paper, and I only had a piece this big. So my strip, my print paper is not as wide as this. So I used a skinnier one and just added a little ruffle with a die to the sides. I did emboss the background. So again, if you don't want to do a die cut sentiment, you could do clouds, you could do a rainbow, you could do nothing. You can do anything you want. You could put a bow and no label, because these two cards came out of this card, the elements. Are you getting it? So let me share with you. I'm gonna put these guys out, put the original guys out. Here's my other one. So that's the secret to success right there. So tell me, I think I asked you to tell me in the comment section if you've been in a creative slump before, but now after seeing the trick and viewing the cards as a card sketch, can you do this? Do you like it? If this video was helpful to you, will you go boop and hit the like button? Just show me some love. Now, I did want to tell you about this paper because I'm in love with it. You can tell I am using the bare bones scraps that I have left from this Daffodil Delight paper. It's this. This is rainbow and that's marvelous. Now, you're going to say, you're probably saying, where can I get that paper? I want it. One, I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if you don't have a demonstrator, I'm hoping you'll pick me. And this paper, you can't buy it, you guys. You can only get it for free. We have a special going on right now called Celebration, and everything in this catalog is free. So this is the paper, Daffodil Afternoon. It's 12 by 12 paper, front and back designed, and there's tons of other stuff. Here's some more ideas for you to use the paper. There's tons of other free stuff in here. There's my rainbow paper, there's my marvelous paper. It's all free. So now's the time to order something this month, right now while you're thinking of it, to get you some free stuff. All right, so I wanted to share that, tell you the name of this. I'll have all links down in the description section for you. And I hope you remember to subscribe before you watch the next video. Hope you had fun, and hope I will see you and you will see me again next Tuesday. Bye, you guys.